What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So a couple of days ago, I dropped my updated 2025 NHL mock draft. Feel free to go watch that. We go 1 through 25, considering now we're post-trade deadline. We know where the first round picks sit, and more importantly, like a third of the league at this point is more concerned about the 2025 draft than the final 15 to 18 games of the regular season, considering they're basically out of the playoff race. They're scouting Schaefer, Hagens, Misa, Martone, and Frundell more than their team at this point. So yeah, Bleacher Report also updated their 2025 mock draft after the trade deadline. I love the people over at Bleacher Report. If you follow me on the other social medias, especially TikTok, I do a lot of work for them in terms of short form content. So yeah, we're going to be checking out their updated mock draft. They got Schaefer and Martone picked. So maybe Schaefer first, Martone second. I haven't seen this yet from Lyle Richardson. The order might be like a little bit. Some teams might be swapped compared to mine, considering this is 4 or 5 days later, but it should still be San Jose first. Martone first. That is surprising. I think if San Jose has the first overall pick, they gotta go Matthew Schaefer, right? I understand maybe if they had the second overall pick and Schaefer's off the board, and it's between centers, which they already have Will Smith and Celebrini, and you go for a bigger winger, especially no, Schaefer's got to go to San Jose. That has to be a lock. Again, positional, like, I'm not saying draft based on position. I think Schaefer's just the best player in this draft. And on top of it, they have a clear need for a number one defenseman. That's the one potential hole on this. I like Sam Dickinson a decent amount, but Matthew Schaefer definitely clears. Jesus, that is quite surprising. That's Porter Martone. Again, I think Martone with Celebrini would reach his full potential of being like a 35 and 35 guy. But, yeah, not over Matty Schaafs when you have such a pressing need. Matthew Schaefer to Chicago. This would be awesome if you're a Chicago Blackhawks fan. You definitely still need one more high-end forward for Connor Bedard, but I think you take Schaefer. I still like Leshinov. I still think Korchinski has a lot of potential. Sam Rinzel's a guy that's really breaking out this season at the college level. But Matthew Schaefer is levels, even a level ahead of Artem Leshinov. You take Matthew Schaefer. I wouldn't hate if they took Misa here, though, or even Hagens. But I still think Schaefer is the best in Chicago. Leshinov hasn't proved enough to me that he's like a true number one based on his first year at the AHL level. He's been solid, though. Next up, Jackson Smith to Buffalo. Another big left-handed defenseman to Buffalo. Buffalo fans would riot, man. They would riot if this happens. I like Jackson Smith. He's probably a top 10 guy for me. I could understand him going like 5th or 6th. But they have enough left-handed defensemen. Like, what? They're already shifting Byram out to, like, they might move Byram, or Byram has to play on the right side because they have Power and Dahlin. You take Misa here. You take Hagens here. I know you might also be set in terms of centers if they really believe in Josh Norris, but wow, this is quite surprising. Okay, James Hagens to Nashville. At this point, I have Misa ahead of Hagens, but it's not like levels. And for Nashville, maybe you go with Hagens, you go with the American center. Not saying you should be biased based on where they're from, but that makes sense. We're back on track. Hopefully Misa 5th overall. If Misa falls to 6th. Seattle takes Misa. Seattle would be licking their chops, man. I would say they'd run up to the podium, but they're doing the decentralized draft this year. This would be the pick of the night. Misa falling to 5th overall. Jeez Louise. Who's still on the board? McQueen, Frundell, Eklund. I don't know where this is going to go. I have no clue at this point. Pittsburgh gets Frundell. That would be very, very good work by Kyle Dubas and co. I could see them take a swing on a guy like Frundell, who has been so dominant down the stretch. Oh, I keep on pressing that. Yeah, Frundell 6th. You'd be very happy if you were a Pittsburgh Penguins fan if you got Frundell. McQueen 7th. Again, I probably should have had the Flyers taking a center in my mock draft. That's hand up. Although there wasn't like an elite one left in my mock draft, probably should have had them take like Jake O'Brien. They'd be very happy with a guy like Roger McQueen. If the physicals are fine, considering his back injury, McQueen should go top 8 in this year's draft. Victor Eklund to the Ducks. I believe I had that in my mock as well. Makes sense. Fellow Swede like Leo Carlson. And a dog. Would be a little bit different. He's only like 5'10", 5'11", 161 compared to the big boys that they usually select. But at this point, he's pretty easily the best prospect remaining. Radim Mertka. I wouldn't hate that for the Islanders. When looking at their young, they have promising young forwards now in Callum Ritchie, in Cole Eiserman. That makes a lot of sense. No Caleb Desnoyers yet. Interesting. So he's flying. I had Desnoyers 10th to the Islanders, I think, in my mock draft. Justin Carbonneau, another QMJHL guy that's not Caleb Desnoyers. Boston, I think, would take Desnoyers in this situation, considering they need a potential future number one center. And Carbonneau, I believe, is on the wing. Yeah, right wing. Killing it this year. 46 goals, 58 games. Nutty. Cameron Schmidt, still no Caleb Desnoyers. How's my French on that one? French pronunciations. But to Detroit, makes sense. Extremely skilled. That'd be interesting for them to imagine a potential line of Cameron Schmidt and Alex DeBrincat, 2 5'7" boys. But he's really talented offensively. Hensler 12th. I hope that the Rangers take Hensler 12th. In this scenario, they would be keeping their pick. They took Emery last year at 30th who's another right-handed defenseman. I would be very happy if the Rangers took him. Caleb Desnoyers falls all the way to Utah, man, to potentially be the second-line center of the future in Utah. This might be the pick of the draft. Misa actually at 5th still, but this would be insane. He's very high floor and still has a lot of offensive potential. 80 points, 54 games. If he falls to Utah, that's awesome. Ravensburger, don't they have Joel Hofer that's 24 years old? I'm not saying again, he's 6 years younger, 7 years younger, but I don't know. Hofer's definitely not playing as good this season compared to last when he had a 9-13 in 28 games. But I'd imagine the plan is still Hofer. The teams that need goaltending, I don't know if that's the top one. Carter Bear in Montreal could be electric. A potential line of him, Suzuki, Demidov down the line would be gross. I would definitely like that pick. This is courtesy of their own pick or maybe Calgary's. No, their own pick, I think. Columbus, Lyndon Lakovic, another big boy. There you got Caden Lindstrom. Just stack some big 6'3", 6'4" monsters. Malcolm Spence to Vancouver. I'm trying to think who the hell. Jake O'Brien's still available. I do not expect. I think Jake O'Brien's would be a top. I think he was 15th in my mock draft. That was late. Malcolm Spence, high floor, not a massive ceiling though. Kayshawn Atchison to the Montreal Canadiens. Kayshawn Atchison would be beloved in Montreal as a physical second pair guy. I like that fit, and especially if is he on the right side? I don't know, but with Reinbacher kind of being up in the air, if he is on the right side, no, he's a left shot. Literally says that right there. Still, maybe not take him. Don't take him there then, because you have Gouldy, you have Hudson, but still, third pair. Him as your third pair left-handed defenseman. That'd be a pretty fucking bright future. Benjamin Kindle to the Senators. I think I had Kindle in my mock to the Senators as well. Killing it this season. What does he have? 96 points in 60 games. Pretty decent. Calgary getting Jake O'Brien at 20th. That is another steal if it happened. My God. Cam Reed, just a solid offensive defenseman. Probably goes between 21 to 30. Doesn't move me that much. 52 points, 63 games. 6 foot, 174. A safe prospect. For sure. Jacob Ice Wozniak. He could be a very, very boomer bust guy. 6'3", 185 pounds. 6-shot. 56 points in 39 junior games. Has kind of got lost behind Frundell and Eklund. Coming into the season, he was highly regarded. I'm going to botch that name so bad. Sasha Boymedian to the Philadelphia Flyers. Don't think he's killing it. He's not killing it this year at Boston University, but he's a defenseman at 17, 18 years old. You can't really expect monster production. Blake Fiddler, I think I had Fiddler to Nashville as well in my mock draft. So we got some agreement on this. When looking at Nashville, I think it just makes sense. Physical guy to be a beast. Brady Martin to the Philadelphia Flyers. Makes sense. Colin Porter, Arizona State's own to the Blackhawks. They would definitely go forward with their second first-round pick if they go Schaefer, obviously top 3. Ivan Ryabkin. Ryabkin would go to the Carolina Hurricanes and he'd just be fucking gross, wouldn't he? That would just be so on brand that they just fully unlock him. They got Artemanov last year, 54th overall. Jack Nesbitt, don't know too much about him if I'm going to be honest. Bill Zonin, I don't know too much about him either from coming out of the QMJHL. 79 points in 60 games. I got to do some more homework. Jack Murtaugh, I think, has a decently high ceiling. Pretty offensive guy. Still only 17 years old. It says 18, but I think he has a really late birthday from what I remember in my video. Henry Brustevich, brother of Hunter Brustevich, makes sense for the Winnipeg Jets. Need to beef up that blue line for the future. They definitely have more forward prospects than defenseman prospects. And then Braden Coots to Washington. I think he'd be a perfect third-line center in no time. I like Braden Coots a decent amount, even if he's not the most offensively talented kind of guy. And that's the full mock draft. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this mock draft? And I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.